All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Central Coast Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Gina DiGirolamo, your host, and we're so excited to have you here on this Sunday, August 8th, for Who Are We? Who are we anyways? I don't know, but Reverend Elizabeth's going to let us know about that. And first I want to tell you you can share this video, start a watch party on Facebook, and shortly I am going to include a link to the YouTube video. So if you have friends who are not on Facebook, they could still watch us here on YouTube. And I'm going to introduce Travis. You all know Travis. We're so fortunate to have such an incredible musician in our family here. And Travis, we're really excited to have you play today. So without further ado, I'm going to let you bring us into our spiritual place. Thank you, Trav.
Good morning. This song is dedicated to you and me. The Word of God is a song of grace, a song for you and me. The prayer I pray is for grace to be the God I know in me. The touch of God is a sweet embrace, a touch for you and me. The prayer I pray is for grace to be the God I know in me. I am love. I am love. I am love. I am love. Oh, can you hear me? Or can you feel me? I am love. All right, listen up. A vision of God in a child's face, the face of you and me. The prayer I pray is for grace to be the God I know in me. The Word of God is a song of grace, yeah, a song for you and me. The prayer I pray is for grace to be the God I know in me. I am love. Yeah, I am love. I am love. I am love. Oh, can you hear me? Can you? Can you feel me? I am love. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
Woo! Awesome. Do, 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 do. I love that. Thank you, Travis. Oh, good morning, everyone. I'm Reverend Elizabeth Rowley, and I am the Spiritual Director and Senior Minister here at the Central Coast Center for Spiritual Living in Templeton. And we are broadcasting to you today live from our condo in San Luis Obispo. And so I'm so happy that you're here with us today. Welcome to the Central Coast Center for Spiritual Living, where all that we ask is that you remain open to the possibility of changing your entire life by changing your mind. This service has been designed especially for you. Welcome home. We have an affirmation that I'm going to read, and I invite you to please repeat after me. I stand proud of who I am. I adore myself and give myself love freely. I bravely heal my bias. I love and embrace all human beings and all of life. And so it is. And now, normally we would have Travis introduce the musician, and Travis is our musician today. So it's my great honor to introduce my favorite musician of all time, who is also my fiance and the music director at the Central Coast Center for Spiritual Living. Let's give it up for Travis Hogue. Woo, Travis.
All right. Good morning. That's right. I'm the music director here at the Central Coast Center for Spiritual Living. And I love this positive, uplifting music that our center plays and supports our musicians. And this is one of my favorite songs to do. This is one of the best rewrites of a popular song. You all know the melody. It's the Jingle Bells of Spiritual Practice. Lyrics by our beloved Reverend Elizabeth. All right. And it goes like this. I'll play it for you, and you can sing along if you know it. Here we go. By the way, the first line, meditate, pray a while, study, serve, and tithe. Okay, 5 points of a balanced spiritual practice. All right, here we go. You can sing along with. Fun, fun, fun. Meditate, pray a while, study, serve, and tithe. Oh, what fun it is to be with community. I thrive. Hey, meditate, pray a while, study, serve, and tithe. Thank you, God, for CSL. My spirit's now alive. All right, here we go. Each morning I awake, so happy to be alive. God is everywhere I am, and spirit so alive. Sunshine makes me smile. Everyone's my friend. I help someone less fortunate by giving him a 10. Oh, meditate, pray a while, study, serve, and tithe. Oh, what fun it is to be with community. I thrive. Hey, meditate, pray a while, study, serve, and tithe. Thank you, God, for CSL. My spirit's now alive. One more time with the verse. Each morning I awake, so happy to be alive. God is everywhere I am, and spirit so alive. Sunshine makes me smile. Everyone's my friend. I help someone less fortunate by giving him a 10. Oh, meditate, pray a while, study, serve, and tithe. Oh, what fun it is to be with community. I thrive. Hey, meditate, pray a while, study, serve, and tithe. Thank you, God, for CSL. My spirit's now alive. Big finish. Oh, thank you, God, for CSL. My spirit's now alive. Christmas in August, folks. The Jingle Bells of Spiritual Practice.
Okay, Trev, I'm going to do the announcement for us, I guess. Okay, so we're going to give this a go, guys. We've had some little technicalities this morning, but I think we might be able to work our way through this. So, first of all, I am going to start off with our mission statement. And so, our mission statement is this: with everything we do, we aim to raise the vibe. We teach innovative spiritual practices and principles that inspire deeper love of self and others, transformation, a closer relationship with God, freedom from suffering, expansive joy, prosperity, and healing of the body, mind, and spirit. We are a conscious group of positive, inspired, spiritually motivated individuals transforming lives. We just happen to have a spiritual center. Want to check us out? Yeah! All right. So right after service, sometime around 11:15, we will have coffee and conversation on Zoom. And I will have the link for that in the comments shortly. So you can come and check it out and just hang out with us. Travis and Reverend Elizabeth will be there, and we could just kind of catch up with each other. It's a great way to connect after service. And then on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we thrive and we keep our immunity through spiritual community with our check-in calls. This is open to anyone. It's a wonderful way to connect. We've been doing this since the beginning of the pandemic back in March when quarantine started. And it's a wonderful place to really connect with the community. And even if you just want to come in once or twice, you don't have to commit to anything. We're able to really get close and share with each other what's going on in our lives. And if you need just to be around like-minded people and chat, this is a great way to connect. So we started last Tuesday with the grief support group from Reverend Diane Davison that is from 10 to 12 on Zoom. And this is also an incredible opportunity to connect because we are all grieving something during this time, whether it be loss of a job, loss of a loved one, loss of just our way of life. Reverend Diane has incredible insight with her history of being a hospital chaplain and a grief counselor. This is a great space also for you to connect. So please join us on Tuesdays from 10 to 12 at Zoom. And if you would like to, if you haven't already, please email to register. There's no fee to attend this, but we would like to know who's going to be there, and then you can get the link emailed to you, and you can email us at info@cccsl.org. Okay, next Sunday, the wonderful and vibrant young musician Jessie Powers will be joining us. She's been with us a couple of times, and we just love her energy. She's such a wonderful, young, creative, spiritual soul, and I know you'll love her if you haven't seen her already, so please join us for that. And we have our YouTube channel. So we do have friends that aren't on Facebook. I know we all do. And this is a great way for us to share our Sunday services. All the services that we've done in the past online are there. And right now we're streaming live on YouTube, so you can share that as well. I did put a link in the comments for you to share that with your friends. We've been so fortunate that you all have supported us through this time. You know, we have a center that we still have a great building. It's being well cared for. I was just there the other day. It's looking beautiful. We have so many angels that are helping take care of it, but we also do have bills that we still have to pay, and we're still holding the mortgage for that building because we know that we're going to all join together there one day soon. So thank you so much for your donations, and you can continue to donate through PayPal. You can donate right here on the Facebook page. There is a donate button, and the PayPal link is in the comments and also in the description. You can also go to cccsl.org to donate, and there's a donate button there. And we also can receive checks. You can mail your checks to the center, 689 Crocker Street, Templeton, California, 93465. And we so appreciate all of it. It's really allowed us to present to you these wonderful streams, and also to bring in these incredible musicians that we've had throughout the country. This is our opportunity really to have so many fabulous musicians. You know, we've wanted to have a lot of these musicians. We've dreamt about it, but physically distanced. You know, some of them are from Florida, New York, Ohio, Seattle, all over the place. And this is so great. And we can give them a nice stipend to play with us on Sundays, and that's because you all have been so generous. So please continue to donate. And now I am going to be turning it over to Reverend Elizabeth for our opening prayer.
All right. Hello again, beloveds. And it's actually not time for the opening prayer. It's time for me, though, to remind you all that if you have a prayer request, or if there's something heavy on your heart for which you would like prayer for, or there's something you're looking to manifest in your life, I invite you to please send your prayer request to info@cccsl.org, and the ecclesiastical team will pray over those for you for the next week. And that team consists of myself, our assistant spiritual director, Reverend Diane Davison, and our outreach practitioner, Maria Bucaro. And now I will turn it over to Charley for our Science and Mind reading.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The title this week is We Believe. And Ernest Holmes said, you know, we need to wake up and look at things differently. We need to take a long look at life and start to think differently about it. Life will always be life. But what it can mean to us depends upon what we think it can mean to us. Once we dare to stick our heads out of the cave of morbid, depressed, or limited thinking, we will find that a whole new world exists. The kind of world that we thought existed only in our fondest dreams. It is real, and it can become an actuality for us. Then from another article, Holmes stated what we believe in the Science of Mind. Today seemed like a perfect day to remind ourselves what we believe. Here are a few lines from that article. We believe in the individualization of the spirit in us, and that all people are individualizations of one spirit. We believe that heaven is within us, and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. We believe the ultimate goal of life is to be complete freedom from all discords of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. We believe in our own soul, our own spirit, and our own destiny, for we understand that the life of all is God. And so it is.
And so it is. Magnificent. Thank you, Charley. All right. So today I'm going to be leading the opening prayer. So I invite you to please join me in turning your attention inward as we come to this place within, which is the place where I know and remember the truth of my life, the truth of all of life, which is that God is all that there is. It's all that there ever was and all that there ever will be. And I'm so grateful in this moment to take this time to stop and be still and know that, yes, I am God in form, that this body is spirit in form, and so is each body here, viewing now and viewing later, whenever it is. There's no time in spirit. And so remembering that I am God in form and each one of us are God in form, I am totally present and available to all the good that this divine presence is bringing into my life right now and into the life of the Central Coast Center for Spiritual Living. And in this moment, I know and claim this gratitude for this technology that allows us to stream and to be present with you, even though we're not physically together. I'm so grateful that we are one in the mind of God and even connected while we're not physically by each other. This is so magnificent. So thank you, Spirit, for bringing us all together on this day, August 9th, 2020, and allowing the message to come through. And I know that each individual who is viewing, whether they're viewing now or later today or sometime in the future, that they receive the gift, which is the gift of music, the gift of love, the gift of the message, the gift of Charley's reading about the science of mind and what we believe, and the gift of Gina and her production magic. And it's so good. So I know that whatever caused each individual to tune into this broadcast, that they receive exactly what they came here for. And I would venture to guess even a little bit more. So there is something magnificent happening here and now. And I also speak my word in this moment for our beloved community members. There's so many of us who are experiencing kind of surreal and challenging times. And so we hold each individual close to our hearts, knowing that they are feeling the love that is coming out from us, and feeling this presence and feeling the divine energy that we are sending. And I know that they're catching this energy, and that is the word for Charley and Annette and wherever they're at. I know it physically they're in Atascadero, but wherever they are at in their process, that they are filled with love and divine goodness. And I'm so grateful for our beloveds Karen and Mama Jody, who are facilitating the check-in calls during the week. It's so magnificent. I speak my word for the Rowley family and for them to experience peace and love in this time. And Travis and Elizabeth, who are on their way to their wedding day very soon in about 12 days. And Shelly B, I know that she's adjusting to her new living situation, and we send love out to her from here. And our beloved Reverend Diane in Huntington Beach, and spending time with her family. She's missed and loved. And anyone and everyone who might be experiencing a difficult time right now, I know that they feel this love, that each one of us in this moment can send that love out. We're like that little emoji that is sending the love out, and we just send it out and send it out. And it feels good to give that love and to give that beautiful healing energy out to our friends. And so we also share this message and share the love as we go forward through the rest of our week. But for now, I know and claim that this service is divinely guided, that we are so very blessed, that the technology is an expression of God, and it's all working out according to divine plan, and God's got us. So whether there's a glitch here or there, I know that God is still right here in the midst of all of it, guiding, leading, and we lean into it. And so leaning into it allows us to remember that there's only one thing happening. And so thank you, Spirit, for being the one thing, the one presence in my life. Thank you for creating the service and delivering it through each one of us. We are so very blessed. We're so very blessed to have Gina, who's in Paso Robles, and Charley in Atascadero, and Travis and I, who are here in San Luis Obispo. It is a good day, and we know who we are. And I'm grateful for this and so much more as I release this prayer, knowing it is done, and so it is.
And so it is. All right. So this next song is from one of my most favorite musical artists and spiritual leaders, Karen Drucker. This is a great chant. You've probably heard it before, but if you haven't, it's called God is My Source. And the lyrics are pretty easy to catch on, and it's a chant. So I'm gonna sing a little bit about God, love, peace, and joy, and you can sing along with me if you'd like. And all right, here we go. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. So that's how it goes. Sing this one with me, okay? God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. A little love. Love is my source. Love is my power. Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything I need. I need a little peace right now. Peace is my source. Peace is my power. Peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Peace gives me everything I need. How about a little joy? Joy is my source. Joy is my power. Joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Joy gives me everything I need. Okay, so you know this one now. Let's go back to God. Let's give it up. God is my source. Sing it. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Big finish. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need.
Woo! Magnificent. Oh, thank you so much, Travis. God gives us everything we need. How magnificent is that? That's one of my favorites. Woo! Oh, hello, beloveds. Once again, I'm Reverend Elizabeth Rowley, and I'm the spiritual director and the senior minister here at the Central Coast Center for Spiritual Living. It's so good to see you here today. Those of you who I can see in the comments, and no, I can't really see you. No, I can't see you physically, but I see you. I see you. Okay. So it's great to be here. The theme for August is inclusion in action. And the topic for today, August 8th, is who are we? Who are we? That is a great question, and we're going to explore that question today. So there is great value in getting clear about our identities individually and collectively, and to get very clear about what it is that we are bringing to the table. And as we stand in our power and celebrate the identities of others, that is a gift. So this also helps us foster inclusion. So we stand in our power, celebrating and knowing who we are and who we came here to be. And that gives us an opportunity to foster inclusion as we open our hearts up and begin to celebrate the identities of others as well. Who doesn't want that, right? So our call to action last Sunday was to observe others and to notice their unique characteristics, and to notice those characteristics in contrast to ourselves, not to compare ourselves with others or to compare for some egoic reason, but rather to see people for who they are, exactly as they are, coming from a space of an open heart, a space of love, right? And so I received a magnificent download from Spirit this week, which was an acronym that I'm going to share with you. It's so perfect and fitting for today for a number of reasons. And the word is Ohana. Now, many of you know that word. For those of you who don't know the word Ohana, it's a Hawaiian term meaning family. And to quote the Disney movie Lilo and Stitch in 2002, Ohana means family. Family means No one gets left behind. Have any of you seen Lilo and Stitch? Oh my gosh, I've seen it and I love it. I'm going to have to watch it again. So in Hawaiian culture, Ohana represents the idea that families, blood related, adopted, or intentional, are bound together and that family members are responsible for one another. And so isn't that what we've been looking at in the past 2 months? How if one person is hurting, if one person is oppressed, we are all hurting and we are all oppressed because we are bound together as Ohana. This one human race is the Ohana, right? So we're all family and no one gets left behind. So we're going to use this acronym to move through the world as we begin to see all of humanity as our Ohana, our family, leaving no one behind. So the first letter is an O, and the word for that came to me is observe. So we're called to perceive and see the diverse nature of ourselves and others. And the second letter is H. And the word that came to me for that is honor. So in honoring, we're going to be holding in high regard or esteem the qualities of ourselves and others that are unique. And the next is A, and the word is admire. So admire, what we're using this word for is to recognize the worthiness of ourselves and the worthiness of others as we regard and respect all of the unique qualities that we are seeing in ourselves and others. So for this word, the image that always pops into my mind is of a tiny little church in Kauai, the island of Kauai in Hawaii. And I guess the theme today is Hawaii. So there's this little church. I can't remember the exact town it was in, but it has beautiful stained glass windows, and they are very big, like floor to ceiling stained glass windows almost. And I remember I was on a family trip and they stopped and we got out and I was admiring the stained glass windows, and my family, we had to go somewhere. And I basically said, "Can you come back and get me?" Because I wanted to take in this beauty. I wanted to just observe it, honor it, notice it more, you know? And so they left and left me there for about 45 minutes and went to do their errand or whatever they were doing. And I remember just looking at these stained glass windows and admiring all of the intricate details and how magnificent was that all the different colors were there. And I started to imagine how it would look without the different colors. If it were all one color, it wouldn't look as magnificent and beautiful, right? And I also noticed how there were just so many different little pieces and sections of the glass that the colors added in to create, you know, maybe a flower with the flower petals and the stem being so perfect. It was so beautiful, you guys. It was magnificent. And so then I would shift my gaze and look out into the church, the sanctuary itself, and I could see the light coming through and creating patterns on the walls and on the pews in the church and on the carpet. And it was just so beautiful. I so was just overcome with this feeling of admiration and respect. I even remember thinking, who made this? Like, did somebody, you know, I just was trying to imagine this whole process of this coming together. And so when I think of admire, that's what I think of, right? And when I think of all of the different people here walking the planet with us, we are all these individualized expressions of spirit. We're all part of the beautiful stained glass window that God has created us, right? The divine spirit presence has birthed us all into existence, and we're all this color, and we all have our own piece in the beautiful masterpiece. And so that masterpiece would be different if the one piece wasn't there, or if there was a flaw, right? In the beauty. Of course, a flaw would still be beautiful, but it would be different. Yes. So that feeling of deep admiration and respect, that's what I'm talking about. So observe, honor, admire. Feel that admiration and just feel the love and the presence of the beauty that you're seeing. And then the next letter is N, and the word I chose for that is notice. Or I should say the word that came to me. I love how God works, just drops things in, right? I'm like, oh, that's great. And so to notice is to pay attention and become aware of what arises in you as you're observing, honoring, and admiring all of the people, including yourself. What arises in you? For me, what arises is love and compassion and empathy and the desire to get into action and a presence of so much beauty, and knowing that this is possible for us to all come together and be united in oneness. And then the last letter was A, and that word is appreciate. So this is to recognize the full worth of yourself and others, the big picture. And this is the source of all of life, right? Our creator recognized that this thing, this presence, the thing itself, has birthed us all into existence. And we are called to recognize that and appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah, feel that love, So Ohana, I'll say the words once again, and those are observe, honor, admire, notice, and appreciate. So that's Ohana. And remember, Ohana means family, and family means no one gets left behind. So, friends, we are emanations of the divine. Each of us are unique and at the same time unified through our various experiences, identities, and the mere fact that we are alive during this time together. Okay, so if you imagine, if you will, with me, a stained glass window once again, and imagine all of the beautiful different colors and parts of the glass that fuse together to form this beautiful image or magnificent pattern. Just imagine that, and imagine that we're all a part of this giant stained glass of the spirit. Then we can move into this oneness together and consider and really begin to embody it. Yes? So I also thought about a kaleidoscope. Do you remember the kaleidoscopes when you were a kid, or maybe you're even into them right now? But I used to love those. There's a kaleidoscope and you twist it and you could see the many different patterns and all of the colors. And it was just so beautiful. And it's like, wow, how does that happen? But I learned very early on that when I look at it in the dark, the colors are sort of muted and fuzzy. But if I take it out and look at it in the light, then it's like, oh, wow. The beauty pops out even more, and we can see details now that we couldn't see before. And it's this intricate magnificence, which is absolutely breathtaking. So the invitation is for us to put on some new glasses, right? And look through the lens of spirit, look through with the light behind, right? And so as we do our own healing, we are able to release some of the shadow the negative shadow side that is holding us back or keeping us rooted in negativity or rooted in something that is unlike the spiritual, magnificent, vibrant beings I know and you know who we came here to be. Yes? Awesome. So when we're clear about who we are, our various gifts, experiences, identities, we can more fully show up and allow others to more fully show up as the emanations of God that they are. We know God more deeply and reveal an experience of inclusion in our lives and communities when we have this good self-awareness and self-awareness of others. Excuse me. A little frog in my throat. Okay. All righty then. So yes, we are a multitude. We're a multitude. Each person contains a myriad of identities, right? Many, many identities. I invite you to consider the many identities that you have for yourself right now. You know, it could be mother, friend, sister, brother, whatever it is, teacher, librarian, facilitator, whatever those identities are, partner, lover, husband, wife, and so on, right? There's a myriad of these different identities. But the truth is that back of all of these identities, we are one thing. We are God in form, right? We remember that we are souls with bodies. We have a soul. We are a soul and we have a body. So the souls that we are came into this human experience for such a time as this, and this is our time. So it's not a dress rehearsal. We've got this time on the planet and we're here to do what we came here to do. And so it's time, my friends, to let go of anything unlike this and step into your greatness. So some of us are very hard to pin down as we try to capture one identity and the next, right? You're like, oh, in this moment, I'm this. And then so quickly we shift into another mode of identity. So we transform and we have millions and millions of experiences of the course of our lifetimes. And sometimes we are conditioned to acknowledge experiences more prominently with ourselves than other aspects, either because of the context in which we've been raised or the context we're presently living in favors certain identities, right? So sometimes it's because we faced a serious threat due to the biases of another in relationship to parts of who we are. This is getting deep, yes. Okay, so we can sometimes repress parts of who we are, our relationship with our emotions, our history, our cultural identity, our gender identity, our journey with mental health, etc. So it's valuable to look at these things and begin to integrate and celebrate all that we are, all that we came here to be. Now, we can be very gentle with ourselves as we discover these parts of ourselves that we may have been repressing, and also claiming and healing our unique journeys and identities as we go along. It's powerful to claim our identities as gifts and gifts. We are beloved. We are beloved and a blessing in this world. Each one of you, you are so beloved and you are a blessing in this world. You really are. So I love what Thomas Merton wrote. This is a quote. I don't know from where, but you can look it up. Thomas Merton. He said, "The beginning of love is the will to let those we love be perfectly themselves. The resolution not to twist them to fit our own image. If in loving them, we do not love what they are, but only their potential likeness to ourselves, then we do not love them. We only love the reflection of ourselves we find in them." Wow, that is powerful. So what he's saying with that is, in order for us to truly love, we've got to allow people to be who they are, where they are, be what they are. If we only love the aspects of ourselves that we see in them, then that's not really love. And so what this says to me is we're called to embrace the shadow, right? So we're called to embrace it, because as we embrace it, we're shining the light of truth upon it. It just like taking that kaleidoscope outside and looking at it with the light behind it. Then we get to see it with clarity. We get to see all the complex, intricate beauty of it. And as spiritual beings having a human experience, we can heal anything that is unlike this spiritual, radiant magnificence we know we came here to be. Are you with me? Yes. Thank you. So seeing ourselves more clearly. When we see ourselves more clearly, we can truly celebrate who we are. And it often becomes easier with the help of our trusted friends, our colleagues, our family, our spiritual community, and our therapists to begin to see where we might have picked up on some subconscious bias along the way. So we as humans, because of how our brains work, tend to categorize people and experiences. And when we pair that with systems around us, that ends up promoting inequity, right? So this is what we're facing right now in the world. And so we're working to dismantle this, right? So when we have categorized people and experiences and paired that with systems around us, then there's a level of inequity that comes up. And so we want to clean that up, right? So our biases can sometimes be apparent to us, sometimes, but often they are hidden from us. And they become what we'd call subconscious bias or implicit bias, happening underneath. Like we're not even quite aware of it. It's happening so fast, right? That a decision is already made even before we've had a conscious thought about it. So when we begin to ask ourselves good questions about what we believe and assume about others and where those beliefs might have come from, we are taking an important step toward healing our subconscious bias. Now, there is a very powerful tool that I came across this week, and it is the Harvard Implicit Bias Tool. And it would be great if somebody can put that in the comments. And you can just do a Google search on this, because I definitely recommend that you try this at home. It's the Harvard Implicit Bias Tool. And so you're going to go in and there she goes, Harvard Implicit Bias Tool. So you'll go in. Now these are implicit association tests. An implicit association test is a flexible task designed to tap automatic associations between concepts, math and arts, and attributes like good or bad, male or female, self or others, and so forth. And the results will tell you what you have an unconscious or implicit preference for. And it's on a scale from like a slight preference toward this, or you have a strong preference toward that. Oh, thank you for putting that in there. So the link is now in the comments. It's implicit.harvard.edu/implicit/take-a-test.html. There's like 30 tests on there or something, and it's powerful. So some of the tests are race. So it tells you whether you have a slight preference for Black, white, or there's Native American or white. And then there's sexuality, and that goes with gay or straight. And then do you have a preference for Arab or Muslim? And as far as age goes, young and old. And do you have an implicit bias around weight, people who are obese or thin, and gender as far as careers go, male or female? So this is so powerful. And it's basically, they give you the instructions and you click through according to what they say. And then don't try to out fool it, right? Just go with the instructions and see what happens, and you'll see at the end, it will tell you what you have an implicit bias for and how far that is. So I took a couple of these and I was amazed by it. It's like, oh, because once you take this test, that will inform you of the work that you are called to do. That will inform you to look at that particular piece and go, like I didn't think I had that. Like I consciously don't have that, but there's a subconscious thing that's happening. And that's the part we need to heal, my friends. That's the part we need to work on. Okay. That is the part that is underneath. That's what they call, the systemic stuff, right? And we need to uproot that, because that is the stuff that is just cropping up all over the place. So the more that we can heal as these spiritual beings here doing this work, the more we tip the scales of the healing throughout our human race. And so that's the invitation for you this week. The list of the different preferences goes on and on and on. But I highly recommend, in fact, I invite you to please consider going to this tool and taking some of these tests. You can take one or two now, or take one a day if you want to, just to see where you're at, and to see, you can even keep score and say, oh, okay, well, I need to work on this one, and then maybe I can go back and work on the other one. And it'll just open up a new realm for you, because this is how we begin to create inclusion, right? We're taking the next step. And so it's so powerful. And by that, again, you'll know where your biases are, and you'll know now where to begin to start to transform these biases. So I read a great article, and in the article it said, in your mind's eye, picture the following scenarios. A Black woman in Nigeria bleaching her skin. A gay man in the United States going through reparative or conversion therapy to cure himself of homosexuality. A Korean woman getting surgery so that she can have a fold on her eyelids and be more attractive. A young man with autism who refuses to be friends with other people with special needs because he thinks the idea is retarded. An Alaska Native woman who looks down on other Native people from the village and teases them for their village accent. Or a man in the Philippines spending his hard-earned money to pay for treatments in a local skin whitening clinic. Or a mother in the United Kingdom who, while playing catch with her daughter, coaches her, "Don't throw like a girl." Or a Mexican-American adolescent who is embarrassed of his parents as they struggle to talk with his teacher in their limited, broken, and accented English. So it's time for us to realize that the inferiorizing and dehumanizing messages about women, racial minorities, LGBTQIA, people with disabilities, and other marginalized groups that we propagate and allow to survive in our society are also affecting people's mental health. And it's not good. It's not okay, right? I love the quote by Howard Thurman that says, "There is something in every one of you that waits and listens for the sound of the genuine in yourself. It is the only true guide you will ever have. And if you cannot hear it, you will all of your life spend your days on the end of strings that somebody else pulls." Not us, not today, right? Not us, not today. So we're called to listen to the sound of the genuine within ourselves, and to know that those messages distort views of individuals and others, and the distortion of reality leads to harmful emotions, harm to self and others. And those lead to sometimes deadly behaviors. And we're not promoting that. We are not. We're done. We're so done with that. It's horrible. So we listen to our internal guidance and we recognize our own beauty and we see our own beauty. I mean, isn't it time to just honor, respect, and love every single part of ourselves? I mean, maybe some of you or many of you are already there, but even myself, there's parts of me that it's time. The time is now. I'm ready. I'm so ready to love every single aspect that maybe I have not loved before. And I invite you to join me in feeling that holistic love for yourself and knowing that you are magnificent, perfect, whole, and complete exactly as you are, that God loves you and wouldn't change one thing about you. And neither would I. Neither would I. So going on to awareness, self-awareness is an extraordinary tool in putting inclusion in action into action. Because as we become self-aware, there's a greater opportunity for healing and for hearing our genuine truth, right? That's what we're calling to hear, our genuine truth, claiming our own beauty and power and becoming aware of our subconscious biases so that we might understand how they are playing into our beliefs and our behaviors out in the world. So healing cannot happen without this honest inquiry into ourselves. When we are willing to do this, it is an important step in building a practice of being aware of others. So when we are willing to do this, we are willing to get into action and begin to love others exactly as they are for exactly who they are. And Kat Colella Graham has a quote that says, creating a culture of inclusion starts with creating a culture of awareness. I liken a self-awareness strategy to having a full-length mirror. Keep checking yourself in that mirror. Keep checking yourself, not in a vain way. Hello, but checking yourself in that mirror to see where those implicit biases are, to see what needs to be healed, to see what is calling you to make a transformation. So, and remember, there is something in every one of you that waits and listens for the sound of the genuine in yourself. We're all waiting. And it's this aspect within ourselves that is waiting. It's the divine essence waiting for the true guide. It is the true guide within us. And so we are available to it now. Yes? Yes! All right. So as we recognize our own uniqueness and honor who we are ourselves, we are honoring our identities, remembering our own uniqueness and honoring who we ourselves are. I invite you to this week choose a word for each letter of your name, your first name, that describes you. And you can start now in this moment and continue after this call. And then I encourage you to share your acronym on our Facebook page or with me somehow. I would love to see it. So who are we? We are God in form. We are, there's a giant stained glass window, and that is everything, right? And each individual is a piece of glass in this beautiful, magnificent, divine image. And so what piece are you? What is your purpose? What are you bringing? And this is when you can really look at the different identities that you have, which are the gifts that you bring. They are, and they're beautiful. And we couldn't do this without you. So let's bravely explore our identities in all their complexity and splendor. Let's look at What is asking for some healing in our lives? And let's kindly and boldly explore our subconscious biases and know that the work of coming to know and love the self, and the work of coming to be able to actually see other people and love them for who they are, is actually divine work. And it is the work of seeing, knowing, and loving God more deeply. And isn't that what we are here to do anyway? It's the act of being awake to the truth that the soul of the universe is our soul too. So you've got 3 homework assignments. The first one, go to that Harvard Implicit Bias website, Harvard Implicit Bias tool. The link is in the comment section here. Go to that, take the test, see where your biases are, okay? And then the next piece of homework is to choose a word for each letter in your first name that describes you, who you are, okay? And then the third is to go and watch the movie Lilo and Stitch. It is from 2002, I believe. And it's a tale of a young girl's close encounter with the galaxy's most wanted extraterrestrial. And Lilo is a lonely Hawaiian girl who adopts a small, ugly dog who she names Stitch. And Stitch would actually be the perfect pet if he weren't in reality a genetic experiment who has escaped from an alien planet and crash landed on Earth. But eventually, Stitch, through Lilo's unwavering faith, love, and belief in Ohana, the concept of family in Hawaii, she's able to unlock Stitch's heart and have Stitch actually begin to care for someone else. So you can watch that movie and get a little more anchored in what I'm saying here today. And so let's pray, shall we? Yeah, let's turn our attention inward. And just return with me to that beautiful, expansive space within. And this is the space where I know that God is all that there is. It's all that there ever was, and it's all that there ever will be. And I'm so grateful in this moment to recognize the truth in my life, the truth in each life of every individual out there, that we are all a part of this giant, humongous, eternal stained glass. And we are each of us a piece of the glass in that beautiful, magnificent image that God is looking through, right? Although we know God is not Big Daddy in the sky, I love that image of this presence, the universe, looking and seeing this giant, amazing glass of humanity that is so beautiful, so magnificent, that the sparkles are coming through, and our beloved family members still see that giant stained glass. Those who are no longer with us in this realm, they can all see it, and they can all see us sparkling and shining our light through it, and it is magnificent. And I'm so grateful to know that even as we can polish glass that is foggy, we can polish it and clean it up and have it be clear again, that we can do this same thing spiritually. And so we are doing this. Each one of us has the courage and the fortitude and mettle to look at our own implicit biases by taking these different tests and using that Harvard implicit bias tool to see what needs to be healed within us. And it is so courageous that we get to look at ourselves, and it's not something that has to be reported to anyone. We get to see for ourselves where we are at and polish the mirror, polish the glass so that the light can sparkle through, so that when you look through the kaleidoscope, it is beautiful, magnificent, with such intricate detail. And we feel that. And so I'm grateful to see and to experience this in my own life. and to see and experience this in the lives of everyone who is viewing. I know that as I feel it, each individual can also feel it. And so I know that there is courage and love and beauty. And in fact, there's a little bit of eagerness, like we're ready to go do this. And we're going to continue together to imagine what that stained glass image is like. And so I know that as we go forward from here into the rest of our day and into our week, that we are able to look at individuals and see their uniqueness and use the steps of Ohana to really see them. And that is observe, honor, admire, notice, and appreciate. And remember that Ohana means family, and family means no one gets left behind. We are Ohana. The human race is our Ohana. In fact, everything is our Ohana, living or not. Plant life, nature, the cosmos, the stars, all of it. Animals, all of the animals, all of the humans. And it is a magnificent realization that I am so grateful for. I'm so very grateful for this and so much more. And I know that we are absolutely blessed as we remember who we are, God in form. We are the face of God. And knowing this prayer is complete, I send it out to that loving and creative action of the law where I know it is done. And I invite you to help me anchor this truth by saying with me, and so it is.
And so it is. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. Sing this one. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. Love you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Travis. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God, my friends. Love you so much. Such a beautiful day with Travis as our guest musician. And thank you, Gina and Charlie, for collaborating to make this the best service ever. We love you all so much. And I am so grateful for your generosity in giving. And thank you for keeping us in operation so that we can continue to bring a message and music to you and spiritual community, and to help us maintain our building so that when it's time to meet again in person, we have a place to meet. It's so magnificent. And I also really want to say a word of appreciation for Jim Peterson and Patty Malone, who have been taking care of the garden at the center and the landscaping. They've been mowing and watering, and it looks so beautiful. So we're so grateful and appreciative for them. And so thank you for your donations. We do have a giving affirmation. I invite you to please repeat after me. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and my belief. It does great work in the world, and it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. Thank you, beloveds. Hello. Hey, oh, my studio audience has arrived. Woohoo! All right. So, friends, won't you know with me that you are never alone? That God is where you are right now and always. And all that you ever need do is turn within. And it is here you will find you are guided, sustained, directed, and inspired by a source that knows only good. Joyously let us make use of these gifts in all that we think, in all that we say, and in all that we do. Please repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening as me right now.
Something wonderful is happening as me right now.
It is this thing called life.
It is this thing called life.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my pocketbook.
Life is in my pocketbook.
Life is in my relationships.
Life is in my relationship.
Life is everywhere.
Life is everywhere.
I think it.
I think it.
I feel it.
I feel it.
I believe it.
I believe it.
I express it.
I express it.
I accept it.
I accept it.
Just the way that it is.
Just the way that it is.
And just the way that it is not.
And just the way that it is not.
Thank you, life.
Thank you, life.
Woo! Are you going to go play? Oh, he's got to run down there. He's on his way.
Oh, that was awesome. Thank you, Life. Thank you, Reverend Elizabeth.
Travis is on his way.
Travis is on his way, so we got to mute ourselves so we can let Travis play. We'll let him play in just a minute, but we're going to, the Zoom link is in the feed, so go ahead. We'll be there as soon as we end over here, and we're going to let Travis play us out while the rest of us try and get over to Zoom. Okay, do I need to say anything else? I think that's it, right? Okay, there we go, Trav.
Right. All right. Yeah. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. Yeah. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are the face of God. Have a great week. We love you. See you later.